morning, Miss Lemzag.
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
No.
Is anybody coming to this meeting?
There's a lot of people here. They're just,
I saw.
yeah, they're just all spread out. And they all just kind of like to visit their own pace. Yeah. Come on in. Somebody's going to start. Hey, friends. Is that Jeff Bechtel? It is. Oh, my gosh.
Jeff is in the house.
Did you read the
Is that the one that, oh,
that is positive?
holy cow. We always want to.
Just put them in a three-way text with Jenna and she'll schedule that.
Sweet.
Because there's like a presentation.
What is that? Shaking over the president, because Jason Doe is with State Farm, who met people at.
Beautiful.
Yeah. He's reaching out, so.
Okay, yeah, just,
Good job. Good job.
hey, sad.
Sound the alarm. Okay. I can hear that. That was perfect. How are you, my friend? Good. Glad to hear it. If I were a $1.2 million listing, I bet everybody be on time. Right? All right, let's get our party started. Woo. Are we on the Zoomy Zoom? Yes. Fantastic. Thank you. Hi, friends. How was everyone's Easter? Nice weekend? Good? Finally. It was so nice. You know, we were sitting outside and our family, our group, later that evening, 2 of us found ticks on us.
Ooh.
So those little boogers are out.
So my niece, got the other morning, ran into my brother's room and said I had a spider on. And my sister-in-law looked at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So check your people. Check your heads. Good morning. The ticks are out. Hi, I'm not calling y'all ticks. We're just talking about ticks. Bunch of bloodsuckers. No, we were talking about our Easter weekend, and some of us have been in environments where the ticks are coming out. So my public service announcement for the day is, if you're outside, please check yourself for ticks.
Is this in Kentucky or Ohio?
This was Ohio, thank you.
Where?
The tick sightings were, where is she? Is that Anderson? That's that way? Yes. We have, who is the agent that lives across from my sister-in-law? Diane Latursky, where she lives. That's where we were. Lots of trees.
What name?
So I can stay away.
Her street is Harpoon, or
I don't do much business.
well, just don't run through the woods.
Okay.
Maybe that's it. They were hanging out under a tree. I was fine. I know that's what y'all are worried about. April birthdays. Happy birthday to our people. You know what? It's awfully quiet. We need to get music. Oh, look, we got a couple today. Oh, look at that. Aisha and Andrea. Today is the 22nd, correct? All right. Well, make sure you reach out to these people and say happy birthday. Let's do bucket fills. What do you have? Fill some buckets. I am going to officially resign this job. Y'all keep this up.
You can't.
I can't. Where's the energy? Are you guys? Okay, here we go. Let's start. I like it.
Thank you for covering TV last week while we were out at really fast training.
It was a great training.
Very good.
Yeah, I've heard word that you did a pretty darn good job. Yep. And people bragging the fact that you didn't keep them over.
Oh, thanks, Jenna. Thank you for that, because it was short class, I can tell you that.
Nice. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
And thank you, Jenna, for holding down the fort while we were.
Yes. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, we were completely MIA for a couple days, and it was the kind of MIA where you couldn't, like, we were not on our phones. We were totally engaged. Yeah.
Not allowed to have your computer out.
Couldn't. It was all.
That's good, though.
I know. It was good stuff. Which, by the way, if you ever have the opportunity to take Train the Presenter, it's a fantastic training. And it's not just for leadership. We had several agents there that just want to get better at their presentations, right? And so it was good information. So I would definitely encourage you to try it out if you get the opportunity. What else? Who else? Give me another. One more bucket fill. Like that t-shirt. One more. We're going to sit here all day till somebody comes up with something to be grateful for. I have nowhere to go. This actually keeps me from having to go back to my desk. So I got all day. Y'all don't have anything to brag on somebody?
EMST Mason. Oh, my mom.
Oh, what happened with mom?
She did a face plant this morning. Just tripped over a knee. But she's okay.
She okay?
She's got a black face, but
Oh, God love her.
they're not here, but I'm Dr. Phil. They were amazing. They were very helpful. Also.
Please let her know we're thinking about her. I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah.
She is a staple here at this market center. We count on her. All right, fair enough. Moving on. Who do we have?
It's Peter.
It's Peter Shabri.
Oh.
Like right on time.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
You know, true. What's up, man? Let's go, guys.
I don't know, Peter, there's not a lot of energy in here.
There's not a lot of people in here either.
There's not people, there's not, well,
Does
there are.
that mean that there's like a shit ton of new sales going on right now? How many new sales did we see last week?
I'm getting my tail ups.
That makes me so happy.
Oh, yeah. I processed 113 closings so far this month.
Damn.
Okay.
Our highest in a month is 164, and typically most of the
Closings?
most of the productions happen at the end of the month.
Last year.
And so I haven't even hit last week of the month yet, so.
Oh. PSA, if you would love for your MCA to love you, don't close the last 2 or 3 days of the month. Your title company hates it. If you have transaction coordinator, he or she hates it. Your loan officer hates it. Your appraiser resents it. Your MCA finds it incredibly frustrating. Quit doing that. Just close the 3rd week of the month, and everybody gets a better experience, including you. You like the 1st week of the month? Oh, I like that. That's great. Totally. 3rd week school. That 4th week, you have a 75% chance of winning with Lindsay. Just don't close the last week of the month.
40% of our production in the last 2 days of the month.
And how does that make you feel? Yeah, and like, how much gray hair does it create? How much do you want to kick your? Like, are you kicking your dog and drinking too much when you go home the last 2 days of the month? Like, don't do that to Lindsay's dog. Huh? So don't do that. What's that? What? All right, so can we all agree that we care for Lindsay? Okay, great. So, multiple offers, are we seeing multiple offers?
Yes.
Are we losing multiple offers?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take like 10 minutes and just talk about strategies that are working right now. So let's run through it. What's working in multiple offers for people? Or what are you experiencing? How are you losing? Let's start with that. How are you losing right now in multiples? Yeah, Kristen.
Challenging one over the weekend where they were listening with a Class B brokerage.
Uh-huh.
The list agent.
Uh-huh.
They did not return a call, text,
The sellers would not, or the list agent would?
The list agent would not.
Okay.
And the seller gives you some, but
Mhm.
it's just different being able to talk to them across the.
Mhm.
And Grayson, you for 21. The cost weren't there to support us at all, so. Where was that? In Kentucky.
A date in Kentucky, 21 grand over? Damn. So let's stay on point though. What won the deal?
Over list,
How much over list?
I don't know exactly,
How much was the list price?
369.
So you went 20 divided by 36. You went about, let's see, about 6% over asking price. And that was not enough. Okay, what kind of contingencies did you have in there? You had no inspection contingency. You had no financing contingency. Okay, and was there an appraisal gap term in there?
No, they didn't want to do an appraisal gap.
The sellers did?
The buyer.
Oh, the buyers did. I may have to take this person calls again. Okay. What else? Who else lost? So that was a 6% over ask is not enough at a $320,000 price point. Who else has lost recently? What did you write? You couldn't get in the houses because they're going so quickly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first thing we know is there's urgency for our clients to act. We know that they've got to bring in why do you think there's such a spike right now in urgency versus just 2 or 3 months ago? What's changed? Say it again.
Volatility in the market.
Volatility in the market on a couple different fronts, right? One is interest rate volatility because of the threat of, inflation from the tariff policy. Where else are we seeing volatility? Where else are we seeing volatility? What has been the front line of every single news program for the past week? Tariffs and stock market. Stock market is on pace to have its worst April since 1932. How about that? So we have this pause on tariffs for like another 75 days. And with that level of volatility and uncertainty coming out of Washington, tariffs are going to push up interest rates. Yes or yes? Okay, so what are buyers doing right now? They're trying to do what? Get it before what? Before interest rates go up. Guys, you have to be able to communicate this. Why do you have to communicate this to your clients? Huh? Knowledgeable, yes, makes you look knowledgeable. What's the thing that's more important? Holy crap, are you guys awake? Y'all know we don't get paid unless we close on something, right? This is true. The reason you have to communicate is because if your buyers don't understand the urgency of going big, they're going to lose. And every time they lose, they run the risk of the house being more expensive for them for 10 years that they're in there on average. So if you can't communicate the urgency of now, they're not going to play hard enough. As Kristen just experienced, 6% over ask without appraisal back leverage, not enough in the house. Your job is to educate your clients on their reality. Their job is to choose whether or not they want to act in it, right? But it's got to start with you making them understand exactly what it's going to take to win and what the stakes are if they choose not to participate. Darren, just out of curiosity, you think that interest rates are going to be better or worse over the next 2 years?
The next 2 years better.
Better?
In the next 2 years,
Yeah.
I think interest rates will go back down.
I think you're crazy. Why do you think they're going to get better in the next 2 years?
What's that?
Why do you think they're going to get better?
I think that the volatility that's being caused right now is so that the Feds can lower the interest rates, so that with the money due, government money that's due at the end of this year that they have to pay back. They're trying to get the interest rates, not the tariff money, it's the loans on the interest that they have to pay back. The government has to pay back, and I think they're trying to organically pull it down so that when they're going to pay back these loans that the government has issued out, it's going to be much lower.
So like you watch Warren Buffett, some stock is buy treasury bills.
Yes.
Treasury bills is what artificially kept it's low.
Right.
So Aaron's saying furious they crashed the market because the Fed has a bunch of trillions in federal debt. Also is set. And they can also take. So this is supposedly a intentional thing where multiple people now take advantage of lower rates. That's the only way they'll do it is if people will start buying T-bills. The government can't do it because our balance sheet is too full.
Right.
We can't sell them because we're full of market.
Right. And you're saying they come due over the next 2 years? Is that the theory?
This year, and this year,
And you're saying that you believe that they are going to offer a lower rate?
I
to
think
sell
that's,
them?
I think that is whether it happens or what's not. I think that's what Trump's plan is. That's what I've been reading.
Okay.
Is that's how he's going to try to reduce the amount of money that we're in deficit is by reducing that.
But Trump doesn't have control over that bill, right?
Not of the Fed.
Not over the Fed.
They're their own. But he can't, like, I think they can control some of what's happening in the market, stock market, and get some big guys to squeeze and sell and then start investing heavily in crypto.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen with interest rates over the next year or through the end of this year? fair to say any kind of tariff activity is going to drive up the price of everything that we buy as consumers. And if that triggers inflation, then the Federal Reserve has one tool, and that is to control interest rates. What are they going to do? I understand it's an indirect relationship, but what will they do? If
The marketing will be crushed on probably by 2026. Same like the 2020. During that time, the markets very bad.
Yeah.
After like 8 months. But then probably three more things that it's up to the and all of the prices is up. Probably perfect.
I think what we're going to experience, guys, is that, first of all, let's just assume none of us can predict the future, right? So none of us know. But what we can do is educate our clients on probable realities. And I think it's highly probable that there is going to be some sort of tariff plan. Maybe it may not be as draconian as Trump was proposing 2 or 3 weeks ago, but there are going to be some tariffs. And tariffs are going to make the cost of everything that we purchase as consumers more expensive. America's economy is a consumer economy. That means what the consumer experiences, what the consumer does, drives the economy. If everything becomes more expensive, that means inflation goes up or down. Up. And so in order to keep inflation from driving up more, the Fed's typical response is to do what? Raise interest rates, right? So I think it is absolutely reasonable expectation that interest rates are going to increase, or at least stay the same for the balance of this year, right? That is why buyers are so active right now, because they understand if they wait even 3 months, they're back in the land of volatility where interest rates can be pushed up again. Does this make sense as a concept?
Yes.
So if you have a buyer that wants to be a homeowner this year, what should their mindset be going into the market right now?
That's the one.
100%. I mean, I don't want to cast fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We've got some loan officers in the room, right? But like, could we see interest rates point higher in like 6 months if tariffs happen the way that we've talked about it?
I mean, there's a big, huge down in the New York market this weekend. So I think you're seeing the same roller coaster ride we've been on for the last 24 months.
Yeah.
Even the industry experts, they've been following every time for the last 24 months.
They've been wrong every time.
Every time. Every time. Very busy. There's limited, we had him as a guest speaker at family reunion 3 years ago.
Yep.
So it's been wrong, better forecasting, they come down the road, the rates come down. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I think, when right before Trump blinked on tariffs, we started seeing rates at the sevens, right? And then he throttled back, he said, let's climb 90 days. And rates are what, like now high eights, high sixes rather? High sixes, mid to high sixes. So I think what we're seeing is a bunch of buyers are going, oh snap, sixes again, shit's gonna get weird in 3 months. I better take action right now. Right? And so I believe that is actually the right course of action for your clients is to go and do that. Now, we're not the only people that know that. So there's a ton of buyer competition looking to tie something up in conjunction with it's just peak season anyway. And we're still in an undersupplied market. So like, it's time to go big. What does going big mean? Appraisal gap, appraisal come back. Sorry. First of all, it's got to be over asking price. Number two, you got to have some kind of appraisal gap because you're going to be offering higher than previous sales, right? That may include appraisal to justify it. What are some other terms? Let's just rattle them off real quick. What are some other multiple offer contingent? Yeah. What other? So how do we do that? What are some other contingencies? We've got appraisal, inspections, contingency, or sort of a limited inspection. What would that look like? What does a limited inspection look like? Okay.
If we see something over X amount, then that's when we might say something or whatever. Tie it to the amount.
Okay.
Or just for informational purposes only, without
but you still have the right to exit the contract.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What else can we do? Quick close, love it. What else? Cash offers. What about lease back?
Yeah.
Quick close with lease back. Sellers love that. Love it. Or even like if they can buy it for afford it, you don't even have to lease it back, just stay there for a couple extra weeks or a month or something. Cash offers, Darren or Craig, do you guys have any loan products where the buyer can make a cash offer and then refinance out after the closing? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one. So you can basically borrow against your 401k or take it out. Put it back, right? It's usually in the 401k, you got over 20 days. So a lot of times we consider Did you guys all get that?
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yes,
Investment properties it's available to. So it's called delayed financing.
120 days. You could withdraw from an IRA or a 401k penalty free as long as you return it within 120 days. That's huge.
Exactly your financials.
Yeah. Okay. So now some of our clients can offer, potentially make cash offers, right? If they've got some money in the markets. So appraisal gap contingency, going over asking price or escalation clauses still popular, or are those kind of out of phase?
Nobody likes them.
Nobody likes them.
Nobody likes them.
Okay.
I like them, but a lot of the listing it does.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they are.
Right.
And a lot of people. Okay. Any other terms or ways to structure the offer to win in multiples? Craig, how much did you say your buyer went over on a $600,000 listing and missed it? On a 600? Okay, so that was 5.3%, 5.5% roughly over ask, which resonates with you being 6% over that way. So I think it's more than 6 or 7% to win the deal.
Right.
So I'll end with this. There's a saying in sales that is facts tell, stories sell. You ever heard that expression before? Facts tell and stories sell. When you educate the client on the market, you're sharing facts, right? Then what you do is you share a story that illustrates what that fact looks like in reality. Logically, they understand the fact. Emotionally, they process and internalize the story. And that's how you move somebody forward in their thinking, is by having them emotionally connect with what you're explaining. So the fact is that tariffs are going up. The fact is that we're in a volatile interest rate environment. The fact is that you're probably going to see some kind of interest rate increase when tariffs are revisited at the end of peak season. Another fact is that we are in undersupplied market. Another fact is that we're going to have to write over asking prices if we're competing. This all makes sense. It's all logic, right?
Right.
Now we're going to tell some stories. In fact, my colleague Kristen in Dayton, Kentucky,
Right.
like the sticks.
Yeah.
She just wrote an offer for $21,000 over asking price on a $370,000 home, and she lost it. She was the lowest offer. One of our top lenders in our brokerage had a client that wrote $35,000 over a $600,000 home, and that wasn't enough either. What we know is we have to write more than 6% over asking price. You see how the story makes it real?
Yeah.
So
price going into those?
on the,
Trying to determine what that spread is, getting the-
yeah, the only problem with, yes, absolutely. The only challenge is like in the last 3 weeks, it's like gone bonkers and you're not gonna see it in lag data.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can go in the MLS and you can search pending sales and find out how many days on market the average pending sale has been. And that's ticking down as things sell faster. So you could use that data as an illustration and then tell the story about, Kristen, Craig, whatever personal sales experience you have. Susan, do you have a question? Or
So I was
comment?
gonna say, you anticipate as the interest rates go up, buyer demand go down and house pricing go down as well. I've been reading a lot about that too.
I think in the high priced coasts in Texas, yeah, I think that's a possibility. I just think the Midwest, we're not experiencing that. Like we're experiencing some growing inventory, but we're still experiencing appreciation. And where do we go from here, right? Like we're at 3.8 million transactions in this country. There's not a whole lot further we can go without people not dying, divorcing, or being born. There's just a baseline of transactions that has to happen. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't even answer your question. Anytime you're asking for the future, you're 100% wrong. What I do know is, well, what I do know, guys, is this. This is a time of high volatility. And in the market movement, interest rates are below 7% because there's a pause on tariffs. We don't know what happens 75 days from now, but we do know right now that there's a reprieve in the cost of owning a home. And a lot of savvy buyers are taking advantage of this before the market changes. And who knows what happens next 75 days from now. So we're competing with people that are savvy, and if we want to be savvy with our own money, I would want to step up and play ball in this market before who knows what's next, Craig.
There's one more thing, what we are seeing, and this is on our builder front, and we have calls this last week, is the higher price stuff is your 900,000, your $1 million are big. So builders are looking for incentives. What we found out across the country right now is price caps is not the incentive to buy your home. We're looking at 2-1 or that right now. So you got a higher price listing or something that's not, it's in the top area. Instead of talking about potential price drop, why not come out and get you want to buy it out? If we are Aaron, where we can actually put together what the numbers would look like for the seller, and you can make part of your consultation. How good would you look going in and saying, hey, this is what the market, this price points, normally, why don't we come out high with 2 want to buy it down, keep our price on hold, because this is what's happening there.
It saves the buyer $500 to $800, and at that price point, $500 to $800 a month for that first year.
Wow.
That's awesome. It's a significant difference when you're able to do it. That you want to buy down in the high price.
Nice. That's great. Thank you guys, by the way. That was awesome. Good?
Good.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
This small calling right after this meeting. My buyer. Absolutely. Do we have somebody on the Zoom? Are we up? Oh, they're not here? Okay, fair enough. Yell at me when that happens because I will not pay any attention. See the people in the Zoom. Hi, Ashley. Have you guys seen this before? Hello. The functionary versus fiduciary. You guys just got a lot of knowledge thrown at you when it comes to you being that fiduciary, right? That is huge information that we just got. But I also wanted to remind, because I love this slide, and this one's even more detailed. There are a couple things that stand out to me. What stands out to you when you see fiduciary? Like when you read that list, what resonates with you, where you know that that's who you are and it's an important part of your business? The what? It's one that stands out to me too. I've got two favorites. That's one of my favorites.
High relationship with partner.
High relationship, partner, big picture viewpoint,
Irreplaceable. Yeah.
irreplaceable. The one I go to is the anticipates needs. That's massive. I mean, all of these are important, but I think it's a really good reminder of who some of us may be, or other agents may be, versus where we want to be, where we are, who we are. That fiduciary list is gorgeous, especially the last one. There you go. You get something for all of this. Being an amazing fiduciary. Mommy gets paid. I think so. Oh, yeah.
One of the things that they talked about is within our settlement, how we've had to really hone in on our value proposition. And
Yep.
fine-tuning, focusing on the average commission is actually
Increased since that NAR settlement. Remember how we were all worried? Not all of us. Not all of us were worried. But a lot of people were worried. And the reality is, across the board, buyer's agents are actually sharing their value with their clients and earning more money than they have before.
and focusing on their skills and.
Well, there's that master's high skill. Yeah. The janky people who use low skills. Narrow picture viewpoint. They just does the task. They tell and sell, and they are replaceable. If you ever have a client that doesn't want to work with you, I have a feeling it has a lot to do whether or not you are acting as a functionary versus a fiduciary. Fair enough statement? All right. Stay a fiduciary. Next week! You guys have to bring the energy. We want to see everybody in here. I want to see you in here every week. But we're going to have Jordan Freed here next week. That's kind of a big deal. Yeah, this is massive. So he will be here at our office meeting next week. Do you not know who Jordan Freed is? Oh, he is a coach that provides insights on scaling your business while maintaining personal well-being.
He was also Peter Shabri's very first coach that he ever hired when he was broke and decided he's got to go for it.
And that's why Peter's been able to have him come to this area and
I went
shares
to
insights.
his, is he doing a? Is he
It's
coming
a
to
Zoom.
you?
No, it'll be via
Oh,
Zoom.
okay. I saw him in person last year when Peter brought him.
Yeah, I did too. It's amazing.
Phenomenal. Really good. So I
Yeah.
highly recommend it. Did he? Yeah. The thing is,
Right.
isn't it so simple? Like he just speaks in super simple terms and breaks it down into just baby steps. It's not overwhelming. You know, it doesn't overwhelm you.
He does a good job connecting.
He does
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, this will be a good one. So I'm excited. So he's an executive level max coach,
Yeah, true.
which means they coach the coaches. Red Day's coming up. Who's coming to Red Day? Everybody's hand should be up on this one. Yes! Red Day, May 8th. We're going to meet here at 8 a.m. Holy cow.
Don't know what Red Day is.
No, I knew what, I just didn't know what else that we
What's
were
the
going.
theme?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know the details.
So we're working with the Cincinnati Park System this year. So we will be outside. We might be mucking where there's been some water flooding damage kind of thing. We might be doing that. We might just be cleaning up a park, but we will be outside together. We'll likely be in different areas, but we'll start together and we'll come back together. But we are going to work with the park system this
Good.
year.
No more houses, because, it gets old.
Well, the sanitary napkins kind of like did it for me last year. I was really tired of it. So I was like, I feel like I really want to do something else. So across the board, I think we're all ready to be like outside, clean some stuff up. So May 8th, we're going to be here at 8 o'clock. Make sure you're here. We're going to do a group photo and then we'll head off. We want to be on site by 9 a.m. We'll work all day and we'll get together afterwards for some fellowship. I don't know where that's going to be, but stay tuned for details. Save the date.
And that day, the office that will not be used. So you have a closing.
That's a Thursday, right?
Correct. Yep. And in addition, do you guys know why we do Red Day every year? Why do we, it's a way to celebrate Mo Anderson's birthday. We honor Mo Anderson, who is the culture, she is the culture of Keller Williams Seven Hills. And so we celebrate and we host Red Day right around her birthday. This year, she is going to be 88 years old. And so Keller Williams Realty International is encouraging every market center to raise at least $888. That is our challenge. When we do that and more, we will have the opportunity to be on a call with Mo. This QR code will connect you to something.
Our specific offices link.
Our KW Cares link.
Oh, for the donation?
Yes.
Okay.
When there is something that happens and we step up to provide funds for anyone who is in need, a Keller Williams associate. International provides funds, but they also require your local market center to match those funds. If we don't have money in our local fund bank, then we're not going to be able to support that associate the way we could. So it's really important that we increase our own account so that should that happen, we can match those funds. So $1, $5, $10, whatever you can do is greatly appreciated. Yes.
Site,
Yes.
and on their national site is a picture.
On the national site? That's huge. That's our own agent that's on a national site as the picture, as the representation of what this company does. Sorry. Big freaking deal. Okay, switching to something else. Sorry, that one hit me. Woo! I got falsies now. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we all know that we're now. You can't be mean to me. We're switching from Dotloop to DocuSign. So we've got another DocuSign to compliance training on April 30th with Peyton. Peyton, is there anything that we need to know before this? Yes. Anything we need to do, prepare? Bring your computer. Huh? I love that. Positive attitude only. Love it. By the way, you can still use Dotloop if you want to use Dotloop. You're just going to have to pay for it. Mega Camp is coming up, San Antonio, Texas, August 11th through the 14th. The tier 1 ticket pricing is, oh, wait, no, they extended that. They've extended that to June. So we still have time. That tier 1 ticket pricing is still in effect. So if you want to go, please do so. Are we doing any kind of like bring a capper invitation and We need to. Yes, we are. We'll have that information next week on how you can earn yourself a free ticket. Fair? All right. 30 social media prompts for April right here. Scan the QR code. April's almost over. Y'all should have been doing this by now.
We can use them in May.
You can use them in May, but we'll have May.
I've been finding there's not like a specific date that comes out like 4 days before the next month.
Okay. Okay. So we'll be having May coming right up. Sponsoring affiliate. I saw some goodies out there, by the way. Mike. Speech. Come talk to our people. Mike's like, yeah, I'm leaving. Whoa! Hey! Now everybody's excited.
So pay attention because something is that, finish up here. Real quick, like Mike Patton, AA Home Inspection Plus Group. We've, been around for, I don't know, 30 years now. I've been in business for 24 years. So what we kind of bring to everyone here is, who in here does any work? I already heard Dayton, Kentucky mentioned, but Dayton, Ohio. Does anybody work for Dayton, Ohio? How far north does anybody go? Franklin? Okay, the reason I bring that up is I also heard Lexington being talked somewhere this morning for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So we cover just north of Lexington, basically Williamstown north. We'll cover Georgetown on request. Then Lexington and Frankfurt on request. We've also do Lima, Ohio on request. We did a large apartment building up in Cleveland last year. So when it comes to commercial work, we'll look at about anything. So right here, if you get the chance, take a picture of one of these QR codes. They're the same QR code. That'll give you our contact information. The easiest place to find us is on the web as usual. If you call me personally, I've got no issue with that, but I don't do scheduling very well. I'll be very direct that we have people for scheduling and they'll take much better care of you than I will on scheduling. But if you got a question, a concern, or just, hey, you want to grab lunch? I'm live. So always feels like you can contact me directly. We have mobile inspectors. Again, I've got a group that's found about MVP over the years in the Dayton communities. And then Inspection Plus that most are familiar with right here in the Cincinnati market, as well as AA Home Inspection for the Northern Kentucky market. We're kind of doing we continue to play with different things that we really haven't found that work well on getting the message out as to who we are. Put that screen for me there.
Possibly. There you go.
And again, this is just what we're discussing, so we'll move on from there. Services, we do home inspection, commercial CPAs, property assessments, as well as we've recently partnered with new phase one. So when you're talking to the banks, we may be a resource for you on your phase ones. Do multifamily inspections, or multifamily. Real quick, like one single family home up through 4 units, that's considered multifamily. That is governed by all of our licenses. As soon as you put that 5th unit in there, that actually goes over to commercial inspection. So be aware, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, as soon as you say commercial, there is no licensing requirements for that. So talk to people, find out what they know, and make sure that you're hiring somebody that can actually do what you're looking for. We do a lot of warehousing, we do a lot of strip malls, plazas, office buildings. We don't do, I think, about 4 stories about all that we actually say, yes, we will do, because when we start getting up, we start running into other issues, if it's not a constantly equipped to take care of you. So you see a 10-story building, that's not going to be me. I'm going to hook you up with somebody coming out of Chicago. Mr. Fisher would be glad to take care of us. Radon testing, and we'll finish up there. Termite. Termite in Ohio is regulated. The inspections are. Kentucky, a termite inspection with a strong insect is no longer
flashlight is now a termite inspector in the state of Kentucky.
I didn't know
So
that.
just be aware of that.
Huh.
Problem is, when you get to the winter, and where it says license number, and it shows up with an inspector license number, your lender may kick it out and say that it's not qualified to have done an MDMA form. If you follow all the procedures and everything else, if you don't have those certification numbers, you don't have your license number in there, it's a legal license number, your underwriter may kick that out if it's needed for FHA, VA, or any other purpose.
I did not know that.
Ohio is not that way. If that's blank, you're getting kicked out because they were not licensed or certified or they just drafted it. I've done that much. So anyway, we've got it fully covered. Doing sewer scopes on the other page there is the sewer scopes. We do sewer scopes also. We do run with at least 200-foot cables, if you will, for doing those videos. A lot of them in town, you only need 60 feet. So when you're talking to other inspection companies, ask them, if you get out past 100 foot, and when they say, well, we usually don't need that, that's a clue that if you're on a larger property, they're not gonna make it to the main.
Mhm.
You wanna make it to the main as frequently as possible. And not to be the bearer of bad news, I was listening to y'all in here just a little while ago. Get the sewer lines checked. We got a young couple over in Florence right now. I don't know the exact scenarios, but they have a sign on the dotted line, all of a sudden they're backed up. Because we just identified what is a minimum $5,000 repair on property. And they thought they had a 60-foot line, but it goes out the back. They're in excess of 250 feet.
Woo.
And they have a collapsed line, they know what port it's collapsed. So those are high ticket items that come back on you very negatively. When the family five moves in, and only grandma been living there for the last 10 years, and your basement starts backing up with black stuff. So,
Not good.
yeah, it's a bad experience for all. The first person to call, and usually whoever they were dealing with last, being the agent, saying, hey, what's up? And the rest of it. So that's really turned into something that, I don't know, we seem to ignore that for a number of years, and then what we've got available to us to run the scopes. And all of a sudden, we're finding a lot of things that people say, well, it's been like that forever. We don't know when the burns happen, back up.
Yeah.
Sure, break that column.
So what do you, that's for like the buyer, the home buyer, that's an additional cost to the
Yes, it is.
inspection. So what is that?
247.
247?
And we provide you with a standalone report on that.
Okay,
Where you can pass just that section of the report over to a plumber,
sure.
to the selling party. We try to segregate that out
Okay,
so that
nice.
you can use it the easiest way possible.
That's smart.
So now if we want to move on there, indoor air quality testing, everybody knows about indoor air quality testing. I'm not a big fan of doing testing unless you have a known reason to be doing it. So when you have somebody say they want an IAQ test done or a mold inspection, start asking the questions and never discourage it. But why are you having it done? Does somebody in the home have asthma? Is there an allergy that somebody has? Do you know what those allergies are? Because as soon as we return a report to you, it says it's elevated.
Mm.
It may not impact you at all, but it might be the one that makes you sick as a dog.
Right.
But always ask the questions. We try to ask that question. We actually try to defer doing IAQ until after we've done a physical home inspection.
Hmm.
So a little bit of reports. Ours are interactive. So down here in the bottom corner, I'd like to say that we don't have anybody doing handwritten reports anymore. I'd be lying to you.
Whoa.
There's still handwritten reports out there. It's going to be on a 4-page or 4 pages, whatever you can read, whatever the inspector can read when he's standing there is the last person that really can read the report. I started out using NCRs. Asked me to go back and look at one 6 months later. You were tired and you didn't want to write anymore. So that's not good. There's a lot of static reports out there. So if you all need PDFs, all of our reports can be downloaded into a PDF for your all files and purposes. But the file itself, when you receive it, it's interactive. You blow up the pictures, you can save things differently. I'll rephrase that on saving. I'll hit on that in a second. But yet it's a very easy read. And we've gone, some days I hate it because I come out of an engineering background. I like black and white text. but everybody seems to love it when you color code and you have green is okay, it's just information. If it's a red, it's this, it's that. Because it allows you to breeze through very quickly to see what is of interest to you. And then you go to the summary and see what items are actually items of concern. The next piece of that one is our create request list. You want to go to the next page, I think it's on here. We got all this nice stuff over here broken up, but we got report PDF, summary PDF, and then create request list over there in the middle. It actually brings up the report in a grayed out manner. And when you look at that and you say, we do have a hole in the roof, see the tree limb sticking out of the roof, we need that fixed. You can click on that and it will bring in only the context of that statement, or you can add the picture to it. And if you want 2 or 3 pictures, let's say my guy got gung ho on it, you got 20 pictures associated with that one picture of a tree limb, you really need 1 picture for that, right? So you could select what you want in there, and then you got 3 items that you want them to address in some way or another. It prints that out onto just a standalone PDF of those 3 items.
That's nice.
So everybody's got a different way of doing their agendas, but it's awful nice to be able to pull that together. And even when you're talking to your client, let's say they're sitting in Florida and they're yelling over top of the phone at you while they're trying to be on the beach with their kids, or that's you all trying to be on the beach with kids. It's awful nice to be able to just go along and then click what they want you to deal with or to be addressed in any way. So we kind of like that one. We'll move along here. We'll move after this one because we've actually started up a drain clean service, being hydrogenic, because we keep getting asked for that service. And we now have another area that is away from the home inspection business that will be doing that. We have enough requests for it. So we'll be
I like that loyal flush. Loyal
well,
flush.
the team
That's
brought that one
good.
together because I'm too old school. As you just heard, I like the black and white, the symmetrical, paint it blue, and I'm done. But again, the QR code on there, if you got questions for us, let us know. And again, the thing that we're really going to stress is the cleanliness on site. And I'm not running down plumbing companies, but at the same time, the cleanliness is not always what you want after it's done. And that's the thing that we will be hanging our hat on big time.
Nice.
So if you want to pass that one up. And then that's back to a thank you. Can I answer questions for you?
Hey, Michael, do you have like a sample, like home inspection that you could send us?
Yeah, can you back up here a couple seconds?
Just because, I love that.
One
how you
more.
can just click on and making my addendum really, really simple.
This QR code, if
Okay.
you got your phone there,
I do.
you can hit
Okay,
that
and
QR
that's
code.
what that is, okay.
And I'll be more than glad to get you anything that you
Yeah,
need.
just like a sample for us to play around in.
That's
so
exactly
I
what
can-
that is.
Okay, great, thank you.
Nice.
Because, it's like, I will make my addendums as quick and thorough as possible. And it takes forever, like the download, save, highlight, save, click, photo, you gotta repost them back in there. And if that saves me time. I don't need to deal with
That's the
that.
intent of it. The other thing is there's an area in there that allows you and or your clients to add comments. So let's say, and I'm not a realtor, I'm not stepping into your all's world, but let's say that XYZ is broken and you'd rather have cash for it because you want to pick out your own new refrigerator. Then you could put in there the cash value would be XYZ
Okay.
for
So
your
you can edit,
consideration.
you can edit that.
And you can put that in with the other comments.
That's
So
huge,
you all
yeah.
can.
Cause it takes forever, it takes forever, like.
And I'm not a techie, so when I can run this stuff, we can all run this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so, thank you.
But then, I don't really know in the room, under Inspection Plus in the last 2 years, anybody that's used Inspection Plus, AA Home Inspector, MVP, by show of hands, if we got any participants. We got Susan in the back. So I've known Susan for a day or two.
A day or two, we've been doing inspections together for 20 years, right?
So
That's awesome.
we've got some history, but I'd love to see some new faces with us.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to tell you a little back history here, and it sounds bad, but I don't know any other way than just put it out there. With Inspection Plus, we've done a lot of changes. And We're gonna bring you a much better product.
Hmm.
The team is much tighter, if you will. If anybody ever had, and I'm not saying they did this at any time, but if you've ever had an inspector walk up to your fire and say, I went by this house, time to go.
Yep.
That is not us. We're there for information purposes. We don't make decisions for that client. Or say, yeah, the seller should have to fix that. That's a holdable. I do not care. Sounds a little crazy.
No, but that's
if
what
will.
you want.
But our guys, and if you ever hear one of my guys say that, say, oh, they should have to fix that, or you don't want to buy this because it has this going on. Only an inspector probably won't have a job once we clarify. I'm gonna give him the opportunity by all means, or her. But yet, if I actually have somebody out there doing that to clients, that's a zero tolerance. So I hate to come off that way.
No, we
That's the way
appreciate
that I run the business, is their decisions, your all's decisions. And I will tell this little piece of the story. Don't tell me I'm done. But as an example of that, years ago, I had a young lady come in, look at the house. Great. Boy, is this a rough property. So I'm thinking to myself, her situation is such that she wasn't coming in cash flush by any advantage. She hung out with me the whole time, and I'm trying to be one, but all of a sudden start stepping in and say,
Yes.
what are you doing? Well, as we went through it, what do you hear? I grew up in this neighborhood. My mom lives 1 block over. My aunt lives 2 blocks over. My sister lives next door to this house. My brothers and my uncles have all said they will step in and help me to bring this house up to where it needs to be at. So if you did the knee-jerk answer, you're going to tell that young lady, what are you doing? Or that young man, what are you doing?
That's a good point.
But that's her babysitters. Because her whole core is right there within walking distance of her. So the fact that she could have gone somewhere else and maybe bought more, bought nicer, but then her support system was not there anymore. So for me to make any decisions based on my own impressions of my 15 minutes talking with you, am I out of line? Say, yes, you're out of line. So we try to present information for everybody to utilize. And if I've got to lean on one way or the other, because we're true to the house, but if it's one of those, I don't know which way we're going with this, I'm always going to lean towards my client. So if there's a judgment call to be made, that goes towards the client. So quickly, take out your phone. You're going to put my name in there at some point, or you're going to write my name, Mike Patton, down. And then you're going to put in my phone number. You're going to shoot me a text. And the first one to shoot me a text gets a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Now, Kurt doesn't get in here again that fast. Where's Joe at? Right here.
Hey!
Joe, get up here. Come here.
So smart. I love it. Look at you. Well done.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Congrats.
They're back up and running.
Yes. They're back up and running. They're in Frankfurt.
If anybody's got any questions, I'll be around a few minutes, but you can always feel free to reach out to me. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record up here, but we really want your business. I'll ask for it, but I also want to earn it. And at the same time, I want you to be pleased with the results. So
Awesome.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, that's why they're here. That's why we have sponsors. It's not just to say hi and give you free bourbon. It's actually to earn your business. So if you have not used them yet, please do so. Yes?
And a question, I might have missed it. Why are you
Thank
adding
you.
inspection and inspection plus?
We bought Inspection Plus, we bought MVP. We've collected several different businesses over the past 3 years,
Okay.
4 years. We ran under Inspection Plus Group, which we're still labeled as, because we had so many little different names, different things.
Yeah.
So somebody will call AA Home Inspection. They don't want to talk to Inspection Plus.
If you call for
Uh,
MVP, they don't want to talk to AA or Inspection Plus. They're like, hey, I called for MVP. Because those brands are known brands. So y'all are in sales, you don't throw away what works. So in reality, I've had better success with AA home inspection than I've had anything else. And we're probably going to start, I say probably because I haven't gotten team buy-in yet. We're probably going to start migrating and dropping those names out and just be running them.
Smart.
So where's the
Yeah.
AA home inspection?
AA home inspection.
You'll notice by any of those, but it will slowly phase into just AA home inspection.
Okay.
Can you buy safe?
AA was Alexandria to Ashland.
Ah, there you go.
20-some years ago on the AA highway.
Yeah, okay.
So it's only a regional name that means nothing to anybody.
Fair enough.
I think that's first.
Well, that's what I assumed was the phone book when I saw it, but now I get it. Hey, purchase Safe Haven while you're at it. Did I say that out loud? Not here?
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Chris, is that you?
Yes. How you doing?
Fantastic. I am great. We can't see you though, if that matters.
I'm gonna share. Can I share my screen for you? Would that be okay? And I
Yes.
can put my camera on as well, so that way everybody. I think it says disabled though. I think you have to give me permission.
Yeah, I'll get that to you.
Okay.
Tina gives all the permission. Who's gonna use AA? Yay. I think it's AA. I want to see it. Put your hands up in the air. Look, we got some people here. Mike, we got commitments. Love it. Thank you.
Okay, you should be able to share now.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. All right. All right. There you go. And can you see me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Chris Reel, and I'm one of the trainers here with Reminder Media. I just want to thank you all for giving me a few minutes of your time today. I know we have a handful of agents. I think there's about 6 or 7 right now in the office that are using us. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to rattle off everybody's name. If you are here and using us or even have used us, definitely want to thank you for the business that you've given us. So I'll try to be quick for you. There's a lot of data from NAR that you can look at, and we like to focus on a few key points here. First one shows you that 81% of homeowners all go with the first agent that they interview or they end up talking to. And then we always like to track buyers and sellers year to year. Last year, you'll see 65% of all sellers, 56% of buyers found their agents from a referral or they use an agent that they already had a relationship with. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you, folks, why I know we've been in business 20 years. We have an 80% retention rate with agents that try us. But we also have our own real estate team as well. It's called Akery Brothers Realty. They're a small team of 5 in Lynchburg, Virginia. Right now, they're the number 4 team in the state, but number 1 in Lynchburg. But between the 5 of them last year, they did 260 transactions. 50% of them came from referrals. The only referral tool they use is our magazines. And that's really the engine that drives our platform, which is our publications. What these are geared to do is keep you connected to your database, whether it's your past clients in your sphere or those hot prospects that you're nurturing on a personal level to drive repeat and referral business. Now, these are the 4 that we have. The American Lifestyle is our flagship. It's all general interest. It's got leisure, art, travel, design, and recipes. Start Healthy, general health and wellness. There's mind and body, basic fitness and exercise. Recipes are all healthy because of the name, of course. And then the articles throughout are like how to detox your body, foods that'll boost your immunity, benefits of drinking a half a gallon of water a day, things like that. Now, this third one's called Good to Be Home. It's actually my personal favorite. My wife is a realtor here in Pennsylvania, so it's the one I use for her. And it's all real estate and home design content, like tips to increase the value of your home, how to stage your house if you want to sell it, things to make your moving day easier. There's seasonal maintenance stuff, and then a ton of different decorating concepts and tips for inside and outside the home as well. And then this Business in Action is the newest one. If you ever work with small business owners, investors, people in the corporate world, this is the one that they'll gravitate towards. Now, the cool thing about this, you can alternate between the magazines as much as you like. So you could do a one size fits all. The next time you sent them out, pick a different one if you liked it better. Or what we did 6 months ago, each mailing now, you can tailor which magazine each person gets. There's a lot more flexibility with it. To give you a visual perspective, if you haven't seen us before, Architectural Digest or Southern Living, we look and feel exactly like they do. It's a high gloss cover, 48 pages of full color. It's got that nice heavier paper too, not that clipper stuff. Number one thing everybody loves, very easy to customize and maintain. So the content's already done for you, but you're going to have these spots of customization. So I'm going to start with the front cover. Picture, contact info, and logo are here. Top corner, it's going to say compliments of you. And for each magazine, there's like 15 different covers to choose from with different themes. When you look at this inside cover, again, branding is also here, but there's a letter here you can tailor to the client. Two ways to do the letter. So if you're a plug and play person like myself, in the portal we give you, we have letters already drawn up that you could pick from to save yourself time. Now, whichever letter you pick, they're still going to be personalized. They're still going to say, Dear Bill and Judy, Dear Tom and Sarah, not Dear Value Client or Resident, which everybody hates. You can edit the letter. Say you want to scrap a paragraph, add some of your own words, you could do that. The other option, you can write the entire letter yourself. Say somebody you know had a life event, a milestone birthday, a newborn baby or grandchild. You just want to specifically address that just to that person in their magazine. You could do that too. It just comes down to how much time you want to put into it. Now, we do give you two tarot cards, which I call the ultimate business card. Again, on one side is branding. On the other side, we have a lot of options you can put on the back. We always default to recipes. Now, recipes might not be your thing. There's motivational quotes, trivia games, do-it-yourself projects for the home, health and fitness stuff. So really, any subject matter that you think of, it'll be there to pick from. If you do have something special that you want us to put on the back for you, let us know. We can do that for you too. Now, what you're looking at here is the outside back cover, but we also give you the entire inside back cover as well to customize. So again, in the interface we give you, there's a lot of real estate template ads you could pick from. But one other thing that agents like to do with the back covers, they put their listings and recently sold here. So anytime you have listings, if you like to feature them in the magazine, you could do that. If there's no current listings at the time, but you want to showcase different houses you've been able to find and sell for people, the recent transactions is another option. This QR code is a new wrinkle we've added 6 months ago. I'm going to talk to you about this in a second. One other cool thing with the back cover though, folks, you could sell it. This is your magazine. You own it. So if you want to co-brand and team up with a lender, Spectre, title companies, any vendor that you know to offset the cost, you could do that too. Now, some agents will pick one vendor, give them the entire space. Other agencies you see here have multiple vendors and break it up. So that's really up to you as well. And then one thing I want to highlight for you is why it works. There's a lot of marketing things out there we can do. And I broke this down into two sections. Look to the left, you got your dinners, bottles of wine, gift cards, and baskets. Great closing gifts, but they're not cost effective. If we try to do this consistently over a long period of time for everybody we close or meet, we're going to end up working for free eventually. On the right, though, very cost effective. You got the newsletters, you got the flyers and postcards and emails. Now, I don't want to beat this stuff up either, because to an extent, everything can serve a purpose. But at the end of the day, you do want to maximize your shelf life in the home. So think about yourself. You're all in sales, but you're still consumers. You buy cars, furniture, and jewelry. You're going to go home tonight. You're going to grab your mail. Say somebody sends you a newsletter or a flyer or a postcard. 99% of the time after you look at it, where does it end up? And if you're like me, it will not make it past your mailbox. So I call this stuff lottery marketing. The numbers don't match that day for something specific you're looking for, we're throwing out the tickets. And that's the number one reason why agents use us. We get you under the coffee table. This will serve as a visual reminder that you value their relationship. I always say it's like a mini billboard in the home, but we've been doing it 20 years. Our average shelf life is 2 months. It's going to keep you top of mind at all times. It's going to make you look great. The most important thing, in my opinion, it gives you an excuse to reach out and check in with these people throughout the year. See how they're doing, what they thought of the magazines. Maybe they tried some recipes and things that are in there, which I can promise you they all do. But at the end of that call, you can really feel comfortable and remind them that you need referrals. Ask them who they know that'll love the magazine like they do, that you can introduce yourself to, that'll be buying or selling in the upcoming markets. And I'll tell you, last year with the focus groups that we ran, for our agents that just sent out our minimum 50 during the course of the year, as long as they made the follow-up calls and asked for them, we tracked a 31% referral rate, which is pretty good. Now, that's the nurturing side of this. There's a prospecting side of it too. What I do for my wife is I always send 15 magazines to us. Now, in these, I have a bio letter about her in the front, testimonials in the back, and then I put them in local businesses, like both our doctors, our dentist, her hair and nail salon, my barbershop, our pediatrician, and our vet. And I listed some other ones that other people do as well. But I leave one in the waiting room on the table like a fishing line, because the people that don't look at their phones, they flip through magazines when they're waiting to be serviced. The rest of them she'll hold on to. So when you go out on listing appointments or you do open houses, Use them as a first impression piece instead of just handing a business card, because they really add validity to your brand when you meet somebody new for the first time. So the magazines can be customized different ways to hit different campaigns of your business in each batch. So it's not just like a one-trick pony per se. Okay. Now, going back to that QR code you saw a second ago, 6 months ago, we rolled out these custom landing pages that will give you, that'll capture people's info. The one that I use is a CMA tool. So I have a QR code in the front and back of the magazine that says, if you're thinking about buying or selling, scan this to see what your house is worth. So now when I'm leaving them in these places, people scan it, takes them to the page, it captures their info, but it kicks back the internet value to their home. Now we know the internet's always off with their estimates one way or another. So she'll follow up with them. She gives them the full CMA to show them what their house is really worth, start chatting with them to see what they're looking to do. And since we've done this, she's already got a listing and 2 buyers out of it. So, and then the last thing I want to show you before I show you numbers, we have an AI program we released 14 months ago called Target Follow Up. It's predictive analytics software. It'll take every name and address that you have, and it runs it through these predictive analytics, even down to what people click on and look up on Facebook and Google. But it can also identify if they went to websites like Zillow or Realtor.com. And then it scores the database from first to last, telling you who the most prime targets that'll buy or sell in the upcoming months based on the analytics and social media behavior. It's getting a ton of our agents now in front of these people at the right time when they're clicking on stuff for themselves, family, and friends that the agents didn't know they were doing so before. Like, to give you an example, just say you had a nice round number of 200 people. When we score it, it's not going to score 1, 2, 3, 4 down to 200. It'll put them in brackets for you. Your first bracket says very likely to move, then likely to move, then neutral, and it continues down. But what we found out over the last year is 1 out of every 4 people in the very likely and likely to move brackets as an average are converting into transactions as well. So pretty good numbers there as well. Okay, so next slide I have is going to be the incentives that we have going right now. But before I get into numbers, any questions on the concept itself?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. All right. So what we're doing, folks, is just offering a one-time mailing. If you like what you see, you could try this once. There's no commitment or contract. Get it out, get it in people's hands, see what type of response you get. And if you like it and you do want to continue like the other agents in the office have, you know, that's definitely our goal. Now, if you did it once and thought, hey, this isn't for me, there's no hoops to jump through. We'll shut it right down. Okay. So just a one-time test drive. How the pricing works. Price per magazine is $4.99 a piece. It includes everything, all your printing, all customizations, and your postage and handling. So, I mean, if you boil this down, it's cheaper than most Hallmark cards out there these days in the store. Our minimum is just $50, comes out to $249.50. Now you can pick when the magazines ship. We have a deadline every single week. So every agent can kind of work at their own pace. And then the 50 magazines can be different. Like say you're going to send a portion out to your clients in Sphere, the rest you send to yourself like I do. No matter how you slice it, there's no extra charge. It's all the same no matter what you do and how you do it. The only other fee we have is a one-time activation to get going. Normally it's $299. When we do these presentations, we always knock $200 off. So it's $99 to start. Our activation is a lifetime fee. Once you pay it once, you never pay it again. It does go to 2 things. You get your own marketing coach who's going to be your assistant. They do all the work. So the only job that you're going to need to do is get your stuff to them, your photos, your list of people, your listings, testimonials, that type of stuff. Other than that, you're really just picking the things you want, like the covers, the recipes. And they will do all the heavy lifting, the technical, and the mailing for you. So we try to make it as easy as possible on you. And then my favorite thing about us, folks, is that we work off exclusivity. The names and addresses that you send these to, you own them. So if any other realtor jumps on board and has your names on their list, they're trying to get their foot in the door with some of your people, it's not going to be through us. We make them take their names off. So this will really differentiate you from the rest of the pack out there. Your contacts are protected. And that's it. There's no other fees. There are no hidden costs. When you get the first magazine out, you'll have a few months to see the impact it has, and then we follow up with you. And if you like it, like I said, we'd love for you to continue. If not, we would shut it right down. And on the frequency side of this, on how often it does go out after the first mailing, 2 options. The normal rotation is once every 2 months, every other month. So it's 6 times a year. But we also have a quarterly option where you can just do it once a quarter, once a season. So that would really be up to you as well. Okay, I do have one special thing I want to do for everybody before I head out, but any questions on the pricing?
Nope.
Nope. Hey, easiest webinar I did in weeks. I'll take it. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a QR code up here, folks. Being one of the trainers here, I do not get to follow up and call through offices. Like a lot of our sales execs that do these webinars, but I would love to gain some more traction in the office. If anybody's interested in just trying this once, scan this, your info will come to me. I will pay for the first 15 magazines for anybody that wants to do this for your trial. It'll be a $74 credit on me when your magazines ship. So instead of $249, you will only pay $174. So I'll take care of the first 15 for anybody who wants to give it a shot.
Can I stop you for just a second? Just
Sure.
Because I'm a past client. I don't do it anymore just because I'm not in sales like I used to be. But I will tell you that whatever he is saying as far as the price, it is what he says it is. Their customer service is like none I've ever experienced. And their product, I have some in my office if anybody wants to see one. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll tell you folks, I know there's a lot of marketings out there, and I know you get a million calls from marketers and they're going to make you $1 million overnight and they're reinventing the wheel. I mean, I'll never tell you that because there's no magic bullet out there, but we do have a proven process. And the one thing I can truly guarantee you with this, the magazine will always do its job. Everybody loves it. They keep it. It's going to get in the home. It's going to stay where it needs to be. You're going to get the text message. The only thing it can't do for you is make the follow-up calls, but it's going to make, your half of your job a lot easier than what it needs to be. So that's the one thing I can truly, guarantee you with this is it will always do its job. And then you just got to do your part. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, great. I really appreciate you having us. Any other questions, comments?
Any questions, comments, anything? Nope, doesn't sound like
Okay.
it.
Hey, like I said, easiest webinar I did in weeks. I'll take it.
I appreciate you.
What's that?
So I appreciate you. Thanks for being
Oh,
here.
no problem. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time, and I'll send everybody an email, and have a great rest of the day. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those in my office if anybody wants to take a look at them. It's a great product. And we're over time, so bye. I know. I was like watching that clock going, oh boy, oh boy. But I didn't want to stop Peter. I mean, that was good stuff, Bye, Ashley.
Kristen.